There's a kitty hair flying. Oh, hey girl, hey, it's Elesa. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my everyday makeup look. For some of you that know, I did just get back from BeautyCon and I got tons of products to try out. Like seriously guys, it's kind of ridiculous. Like I'm actually a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of products I was gifted by brands. So I've been kind of messing around with that and figuring out what I like, what I don't like, and been changing up my makeup routine. But I think I found one that I'm really liking. So I'm going to show you guys today what that routine is. So with that being said, let's get started. To begin, I'm going to be using my Mercier foundation primer in the shade Radiance and using my fingers to rub that all over my face. Next up, I'm going in with my NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation in the shade Light 5 Fiji and applying that on my face and then just using my Morphe Beauty Blender to blend that in. Now I'm going in with my Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Concealer in the shade Light Warm and applying that under my eyes, a little bit on my chin, my forehead, and a little bit on my nose. And I'm just going to be using that same blender to blend that in. Now it's time for some setting powder. So I'm going to be using my Amazing Cosmetics Velvet Mineral Powder Set with just a flat foundation brush and applying that under my eyes, on my forehead, on my chin, and then I just like to use the excess and brush it on my face. Sometimes I use my Mercier translucent powder, but I do notice that it gets a little too white sometimes, especially right now because I am pretty fair. I have not been using my fake tan as much, so it shows up extra white, but the Amazing Cosmetics is a little bit lighter. Now I'm going to be using my NARS bronzing powder in the shade Laguna and be applying that on the hollows of my cheeks, on my temples, my forehead, and then on my nose. Now I'm not going to be going in with a cream contour this time. I've noticed also that it's been coming off a little bit too harsh for my liking, and for an everyday look, I want something very flawless, effortless, and that blends in really easily. Now I definitely added too much bronzer on my forehead, but then I go in with a big fluffy face brush to help blend that out just a little bit. And again, I like to just do that all over my face just to make sure that everything's blended in very nicely and that I don't have harsh, dark spots all over my face. Now it's time for some blush, so I'm going to be using my Sigma Cor-De-Rosa and be applying that on the apples of my cheeks with a blush brush. Another tip for you is just to smile while you're applying it because then you know exactly where the apples of your cheeks are. And then I'm just using the excess to brush that on my nose, my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. It just helps add a bit of color to my face. Now it's time for the brows. So I have been using my Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in the shade Dark Brown. So I start from the bottom and draw a straight line and then just kind of fill in and connect as I go. Once I think I've added enough product to my brows, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown, but use the brush side of that Brow Wiz stick to just kind of blend out that product. And then if I find I need to add a little bit more product to some sparse areas, I'll just flip that crayon around and use the crayon part of the pencil. Now I'm gonna go do the other brow and I will be back in a jiffy. So I sometimes do this, usually I don't, just because I like a natural look of an eyebrow. But for today, I decided to go in with my Smashbox concealer and another angled brush just to help clean up my brows a little bit. Like I said, sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. It just depends how messy I think my eyebrows look. And when I do this, I tend to go pretty light. I still want it to look pretty natural. Now going in with my DiorSkin Nude Air Luminizer in the shade 3. I like to apply this on the tip of my nose, on my cheekbones, and just a little bit above my lip. Going in with my Marc Jacobs Glambition palette and applying the most, which is the pinky shade, with just a regular flat brush on the inner corners of my eyes, and bring that into the center of my eyes. Using that same palette, I'm going to be applying Infamous on the outer corners of my eyes with just a big fluffy brush. And I like to pat back and forth just so I don't add too much product on one eye and then maybe not enough on the other. Kind of go back and forth and blend, 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 and I find that the product distributes pretty evenly. The last color I'm going to be using from this palette is Seeking, and this is kind of a taupey brown. And I'm going to be using a flat fluffy brush to be applying that on the outer corners of my eyes, and then use a big fluffy brush to just blend that in. Time for the finishing touches. So I'm going to be using my Victoria's Secret lip gloss in the shade Candied and apply that all over my lips. That is the completed look today. I hope you all loved this, and if it was helpful, you'll have to leave me a comment down below, and also hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And with that being said, I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.